Sony's $900 ZX Series Walkman. An Android phone that doesn't call, text, or do social. It simply plays music. Sony removed that pesky Bluetooth in lieu of an analog-only device. A smart choice for those with seriously expensive headphones that can take advantage of the amplifiers in this Walkman. A necessity for serious audiophiles that want high-quality, lossless audio from their MP3s. To reach the masses, they've added in Wi-Fi so you can stream your lower-quality Spotify and YouTube services to your expensive hardware, providing marginal gains over your iPhone or Pixel listening experience. It's a strapping device that is not reminiscent of a 90s Walkman, but rather an early 2000s MP3 player. Is it for audiophiles, casual listeners, or purely a sales pitch for nostalgia? Let's discuss. So, Ant, are you going to drop $900 on this Walkman?
Of course, you know I will.
You will not.
Will not drop.
Tell me why.
Well, reason being, I have a cell phone. My cell phone does everything that this thing does and takes pictures, and I can make phone calls. This device, completely useless for somebody in this day and age. Do you see people walking around with iPods? You see people walking around with Zunes? You see people walking around with any of that stuff anymore? No. Why? Because they have smartwatches that can stream music, and they have other their phone that can stream music. Or even a tablet. If they're going to go somewhere that requires them to do something without wanting to use their phone, they'll bring a tablet over this. I'd rather have a tablet.
Okay, so it sounds like this device is definitely not geared towards you. Might not be geared towards me, but let's do this. Let's look at the Walkman history, I think, and talk about the origins of this beast. So I'm gonna pull up this image of it.
I'm sure they look very similar, right?
They look like.
So what am I looking at, Nate?
Yeah, so the original Walkman, like circa 80s to 90s, right? The original cassette monster that Sony puts out, everyone wanted because it was like the thing.
Yeah, that's that waterproof one, right?
Yeah, the Sportsman.
Is that the one you had?
No, man, I was a little too young, right? I had a CD player, and I had fond memories of choosing between a cassette or a CD player when trying to buy Green Day's Dookie back in Target back in the day. But that's like the time period of like the transfer from Walkman to CD player, where you talk about audio quality going from cassette to CD.
Yeah.
And I don't even know that like at the time, the Walkman series wasn't really an audiophiles device. It was like just the thing that you wanted because it was trendy and like it was waterproof and you could run anywhere with it. It had an FM AM player in it, which nothing has that anymore. But this new Walkman, right, is like, here's the expensive thing. The original one wasn't made for like expensive quality listening. So it's a weird device.
Yeah. So does that new Walkman that the Sony's coming out with, can you put a tape in it?
No.
Well, can you listen to the radio on it? Can I get AM?
It doesn't have a tuner in it, man. It's
you know what you could do with it? You could get the app on there over Wi-Fi, and then as soon as you walk away from your house, you could lose the your Wi-Fi signal.
Lose your signal and not be able to listen to your
And then you know what the best part is you could listen to music on it anywhere as soon as you connect it to the hotspot on your $900 phone that you have.
So creating redundancy in your devices is the name of the game.
Now instead of having one phone in my pocket, I can have a Sony Walkman and a phone in my pocket.
Okay. So this isn't for you. This is probably not for me. But what about like the hipster dudes who are like, I want to go old school dumb phone. I want to carry a separate camera. I need an MP3 player now. Like, do you think those dudes will buy this?
So they're going to avoid buying a phone that does everything they want the Walkman to do, and then buy a separate phone and then have two devices on them. I could see some idiot doing that. I mean, come on. Like, it's 2023 here. I mean, what are we doing? You're gonna carry.
You're a utilitarian, man.
Well, you're gonna get the best bang for your buck. So I'm gonna get my flip phone that I can't even do a Wi-Fi hotspot, and then I got to connect this thing to my computer and try to remember how to download things to it, or use my Wi-Fi signal to download a bunch of music to it, and then I'm gonna walk off and be like, "Cool, I have this now. I don't have to use this app," and then it stops working, it crashes, or you need to get the SD card in there. Come on, It's too much work. Not
But
that it's too much work. I mean, but consider like compared to what you like, just being able to take your phone and stream music, you're going to sit here and mess with doing all this extra BS.
But you don't think someone that's like I'm going to sit in the dark with a glass of wine and I'm just going to listen to music. Like the $900 is probably not a steep entry point for them. They probably have a $5,000 music system, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they'd still be interested in this?
Yeah, and while they're cleaning their gun and sharpening their knives and going out to find that midnight strolly person to me.
Well, you know what's funny? It was
a dark room reference.
When I was thinking about the dark room, I actually like an image of Clockwork Orange popped in my mind where he's like sitting in the chair in the dark, and then you bring up like the murdering thing, and I was like, oh shoot, you just like you read my mind. You said bang for the buck, right? So
yeah, bang for the buck.
$900 device. It's half the price of what they put out one that was like $3,600 2 years ago, and this one's cheaper and has more features.
But it has 4G. That one has 4G, right? You could connect it to a cell phone.
No, it doesn't have 4G or Wi-Fi. It's like even dumber.
They missed the mark.
I don't know.
They just put the Walkman name on it just to get people from the 80s and 90s be like, cool, it's a Sony Walkman. I'm going to buy it. Look at me. I got a Walkman. And then people are going to look at it and be like, cool, you got an iPod. And they're going to be like, no, it's a Sony Walkman. Look, it says Walkman right on the back. Like, no, still an iPod.
You know, that's literally how I look at this, right? It's them throwing Walkman. Walkman, we said earlier, was not known for being the high quality audio device. It was just a name that everyone knows and remembers. The nostalgia effect. It's
pretty much like Band-Aid. I think Band-Aids are actually Band-Aid's a brand that makes bandages for your arm. Or Velcro. Velcro's another one. It's actually called Hook and Loop or something like that. But everybody refers to Hook and Loop as Velcro because Velcro capitalized on it by saying, we got Velcro, Hook and Loop connectors. This is the same exact thing. Whenever anybody got a cassette player, a portable cassette player, they called it a Walkman, the Sony Walkman, because Walkman took the name because, like, look, I'm walking. Instantly makes me think, though, of the talk boy from Home Alone. Could never afford one of those. Could never afford that waterproof Sony Walkman. And then something else just popped in my mind. Pocket rockers. You remember pocket rockers?
I don't know what that is.
Well, the pocket rocker is, it was like a little device and you got a little tiny tape, probably for the same cost of a cassette tape. And it had 2 songs on it. And you put it in there, pocket rockers. And you could, I remember I had Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer. I heard that song so many times. Every time it comes on the radio, I think I try to blow it up.
You put like one Queen song on there, you take up the whole space.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So I just want to I think we should wrap this up with
okay.
Who do you think, I know we're not the direct consumer that they're being marketed to. Who do you think would actually buy this and why?
I think the consumer that's going to buy this is because they don't really advertise iPods anymore or like the iPod Touch. I think that parents that want to get their kids a tablet but don't really want to buy them a tablet but want to get them something to maybe listen to music on, they'll utilize it as the way people used to use the iPod Touches. Just give it to their kid. They walk around the house, they can stream music at a $900 cost, of course. And I think they have cheaper models that are like $350, $400, but even still, you're better off just getting, I mean, if you're going to buy your kid this, you're going to buy your kid a tablet anyway. So this way they can watch, the kids, YouTube kids videos and things like that. However, if you're buying this, you're buying it for, I think, more for nostalgia. You're just going to do it to say you did it.
Yeah. I think there's 3 people that might purchase this. I'm thinking like some dude who makes a bunch of money that lives in California for a tech company is like, I want to escape the daily demands of the internet and social media, but I want to listen to music. I think the other person is a hipster. We don't need an explanation.
Well, when you're riding a bicycle everywhere with flip-flops, I mean, you can afford one of these. You save it on gas and
you don't have to buy a car or gas. You can buy a $900 Walkman. I think my third use case is probably like, I watch a lot of NFL. Every time you watch the pregame, they walk down the tunnels. They're jamming out. They don't want to talk to anyone. They don't need a phone. They could be like, I'm going to buy an $100 Walkman and I'm going to listen to that while I prep up for the big game.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone else who would buy this stupid thing.
Yeah. Well, good luck, Sony. I'm sure you're selling out of them, and I'm sure there's a bunch of idiots out there that are buying them. So have fun.
Congratulations, Sony. Making money off of us dummies. All right. Appreciate everyone watching. If you like what we talk about, go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button, leave us a comment. We can talk about some more things. Sayonara.